Welcome back to the Torque Test channel. Today we're going to see if you can turn tough bolts without turning your wallet inside out. In episode 20, we went down the TTI road and saw everything they had to offer in the more budget-friendly cordless half-inch mid-torque impact wrench category in the form of a brushed Ryobi P261 at $99 and Walmart's Hart brand at $119, as well as Ridgid's brushless octane mid-torque, which we purchased for $155. With all those being made by the same folks who make Milwaukee, today we branch out a bit from TTI's umbrella by getting our hands on two additional mid-torques under $120 to see how they stack up on the dyno versus those and the best and heaviest hitting mid-torques we've ever tested on the channel at any price. Then we're going to tally their points at the end of this episode to see how they rank on our chart. That's going to include first off this Bauer Hyper Max that you can purchase from Harbor Freight for about $120. As a reminder, we purchase all of our tools you see here ourselves. While these are budget tools, the 5 you see here with batteries and chargers represent about $1,000 almost, and we do that solely from your support by you clicking things, purchasing shirts, or just watching this video in general, instead of us accepting paid reviews. Right off the hop, we'd be ignoring the elephant in the room if we did not talk about how massive this Bauer is for mid-torque. It's got mid-torque specs, advertising 450 foot-pounds, which is no slouch in the specs category, but it definitely packing some high torque dimensions. While not a chunky in the head sort of high torque looking tool, this Bauer is 8.8 inches long, even longer than its Hart competition at 8.3 inches, and matching a damn DeWalt DCF 899 in length. Of course, it's rocking a brush motor, which doesn't help in that length department, but so is the Ryobi and Hart it will be going up against today, and it still takes the crown for longest mid-torque we've ever laid our hands on. Since it's not sold as a kit, it'll be rocking a 5 amp hour battery we picked up for it to match the Milwaukee and Makita testing we've done. It's a formidable looking package altogether, but we'll have to see today if it's able to justify its footprint with some serious beans output. The next half-inch cordless mid-torque we'll be diving into today is the Craftsman 20-volt brushless impact wrench. This tool only advertises 275 foot-pounds. That's not a lot. In fact, that's the lowest of the group today between this, the 300 foot-pound rated P261, the 350 rated Hart, the 450 Bauer, and the 485 Ridgid octane. Since this tool is brushless, like the Ridgid, we're hoping it can at least hang within the category, and for $119, it fits right in. As a matter of fact, we picked up this Craftsman for $119, and that came with a free 4 amp hour battery and charger at the time, which is otherwise similar price to the tool itself. Clearly qualifying for a budget showdown on this one for sure. When looking at this tool and noticing the power selector toggle, it's pretty clear it's a Stanley Black & Decker made tool, or basically a DeWalt, with less American flags plastered all over it. And truth be told, we feel this is a pretty handsome tool, although it's obviously subjective in that part. What's not subjective is its size. This is one of the smaller mid-torques we've tested at 7 inches long, and it's by far the shortest in this budget category. Let's get right into the testing and see where these stack up. Our first test is called working torque. It's 5 seconds and forward. Here's the Hart up against the Ryobi and Ridgid, first to set the scene. The much longer, louder, brushed Hart here makes the same as the Ridgid, but one thing you should know about the Hart is it loves being in forward. Let's take a look at that massive Bauer now. Here's its run shown in light gray on the screen. Yeah, so 170, that's about the same as the Ryobi, which made 173. Not really stellar stuff so far. Here's the smaller but brushless Craftsman. $256, basically up there with the Hart and the Ridgid so far. We'll have to see if that trend continues in reverse, which is called our max torque test. 10 seconds in reverse to be specific. Let's see the Ridgid up against the Hart and the Ryobi. The Ridgid stands out as the best in this test, and the Hart really doesn't love reverse too much, it seems. Let's see how the Bauer likes it. That's 248, or 10 foot-pounds up in the Hart. Okay, let's see the Craftsman. $330, the Craftsman absolutely putting it down here. Yes, I know it says 330 there. We're not talking earth-moving amounts of torque, but surpassing the Ridgid in any test was way out of left field for us. This tool actually makes some torque, and it does it rather quickly looking at that curve. Our third test is called Best Case Scenario. Batteries fresh off the charger. Tools have the opportunity to make their best numbers in forward or reverse. For the Hart, that was certainly forward. Let's see what type of torque the Bauer liked with Ryobi and Ridgid also on screen. $297, roughly matching the Hart despite the Hart's poor early start. The Ridgid really ran away with it though. It puts in work with that octane battery. Here's the Craftsman with its last shot to put up enough points to place it well on our rank chart. Well up on the others, but not quite topping that Ridgid this time. As we've mentioned before on the channel, octane impacts seem to really like freshly charged batteries. If you're not cash strapped, or maybe this is your second or third impact and you're done pussyfooting around, the newest models from Makita and Milwaukee have been the biggest bruisers in our testing so far. Let's see what type of gap they can build on some of these budget models. Here's Makita on the dyno with the M18 Ridgid, Craftsman, and Bauer on screen as well. So yes, obviously not too close. The Makita in particular is just a beast. But these are impacts you research and read about and watch countless videos on, not ones you throw into the cart when you're doing some shopping at a store because it looks like a decent deal for the power. As a matter of fact, the Craftsman here only made 13 foot-pounds more in this run than its shorter max run, which means the tool makes all of its power in a hurry, but sort of like a big impact driver is done after a certain amount of time and not really going to climb much after that. There's both pros and cons to that, of course. You'd prefer the tool to make all this torque as soon as possible, but then again, doesn't make for top scoring points either on the channel. Let's see those points and determine if either of these tools make any real waves on our mid-torque rank chart. Starting out here, for now, the power runs get turned into points as 26, 33, and 34 for the Craftsman, and 17, 25, and 30 for the Bauer. The Bauer really not putting any huge numbers up today, especially at that 8.88 inch length. The Craftsman gets 49 foot-pounds per inch, while the Harbor Freight is awarded only 33.5. Torque claims bring the biggest revelation of the day for us. The Craftsman only rated this tool for 275. Do you remember that? 275, and it made 343 on the dyno. Most tools make around 80-85% of their claims on this channel. This tool made 124% of its claim. This column maxes out at 100, of course, but still walking away with some points here for sure. The Bauer, well, Harbor Freight is no stranger to, let's say, some particularly proud torque claims on their tools, as we've seen on the channel, and gets 66 points, just 66% of their claim. Quite a contrast. Both of these tools cost about the same, but made very different power. The Craftsman gets 43.2 points, and the Bauer 37.1. That totals 208.6 for the Bauer and 285.2 for the Craftsman, putting the Bauer dead last, sorry big guy, and the red Lowe's DeWalt in 4th, bumping down the older gen Milwaukee and certainly ranking number 1 among the budget guns, aided mainly by it having quite decent power, a reasonable price, and super underrated power claim. Revealing the actual power of these tools as we see it versus their claims is the original purpose of this channel you're watching, and along the way, the few who have played things straight get rewarded here like they will nowhere else in life for putting realistic numbers on the box. But all their performance numbers are here for you to rank them as you see fit. Claiming only 275 and making 343, of course we're still talking low end, mid-torque power here, but plenty of power to be taking off lug nuts and most non-completely rusted bolts off of a car, right? Maybe not fresh 18-wheeler lug nuts as you see here, but F250 Super Duty lugs, no problem. Other tools that have made similar power on this channel are currently claiming 450 and 480 foot-pounds on their boxes. Surely they could have written 400 on this tool's packaging and slept just fine at night. Is this protection for the yellow brand that they also make, or just a rare case of honesty in advertising? Heck, even just underselling in advertising. We may be some of the few people who know, and well, you now too, that this tool mixes it up with the rest of them in this modern mid-torque category just fine. And for 119 bucks, if your son or brother needs an impact wrench and doesn't own anything currently, you could do much worse with your money than picking up one of these. Heck, even for yourself, keep this in your trunk. It costs less than a 3/8 ratchet off the tool truck. We have nothing to gain from recommending this tool. We have no affiliate link partnership with Lowe's. It's just really decent buy for the money, and we think more people should patronize brands who don't put crazy numbers on their tool. We've been told by other tool reviewers that we trust that Craftsman's other cordless offerings might not be as top shelf as this one, but we look forward to trying out some more like their 3/8 model. Recommend more mid-torques in the comments below. Click subscribe to see more of that, and thank you for watching.